Hi folks, and welcome back to the Travels of Red Rover. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Corinne.
And today we are at Sweetwater Creek or Waterfall.
Sweet Creek Waterfall.
Sweet Creek Waterfall, okay.
We're near the town of Medellin Falls in the North Pendoral River in northeast Washington.
Yeah, it's really quite out of the way. We can pretty much see Canada from where we're standing.
Yeah, it's pretty close. We had originally thought we'd be doing some photography down in southeast Washington, but it was too hot, so we tried to come up to the mountains.
And we've decided to do a little bit of photography at this absolutely gorgeous little two-tier, three-tier waterfall.
Yes, so we're pulled off at the Sweet Creek rest area, and it's a short trail to the waterfalls. We'll take you to both the lower falls and the middle falls.
Yep, so it should be a good trip. I hope you enjoy it. Buckle up and let's get going.
Make sure you bring your mosquito repellent.
Oh yeah, make sure you bring up your... We're basically walking around in a cloud of DEET.
Okay, let's go. We're just at the south end of the rest area, and there's a footbridge we're going to cross to get to the other side of the creek, and then we'll walk up the side of the creek. Along the way there's several rest stops and benches, so you can take a rest and enjoy your views and a little bit of the forest. So we're walking along the path to the lower trail, and it's a nice path, very gradual slope and wide. There's gravel on it. You could roll a stroller up here. We only have a short way to go. We're here in the mid-morning. It's a little later than we'd normally come for photography. But as long as your waterfall is not in bright sunlight, then you won't have a problem. So it's based on whatever type of waterfall you're doing. We come to the end of the trail, and there's a big drop off here. You have to jump down. And then there's a bit of a path that people have made along the shore of the creek, and you can see down there Shawn's getting organized with his tripod to do some photography. Back in the early 1800s, this was even a well-known social spot, picnic area for people. They'd come out and enjoy the cool air around the creek and the waterfalls and socialize. This is a view of Sweet Creek Falls from the lower trail. You can see a nice cascade coming down even though it's midsummer. And over on the far side, looking up, you can see the rail that is for the Mid-Falls Trail.
So as you can see, I'm out in the middle of the stream wearing my booties. I'm one of those folks that don't like getting cold feet. I can sit and concentrate much better if I have warm feet. So I'm standing in the middle of the creek. The reason I'm standing in the middle of the creek is there's a series of plants on either side of me that would influence the shot significantly. In fact, take up a good part of the shot if I didn't get away from them. Secondly, there's a very good set of colored rocks going up to the falls, which I really like. And then a series of nice mossy greenness on either side of the falls. And finally, I'm trying to get rid of, there's a fence just above the falls, and I'm trying to make sure that's not in the shot. So let's see how this works out. So the other thing I'm doing is I'm using a little bit of polarizer to just bring up the green a little bit, make it a little bit richer. and also take some of the glare down on the rocks. We're starting to get some sun up behind us here, and they're making the rocks a little glarish. So I'm taking a little of that off, but I'm still leaving a little tiny bit. I like just a little bit of gloss on the rocks when I'm shooting these photographs. So I'm all set, and I'm ready to take the photograph. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to take one more version of the photograph with a slightly slower shutter speed, just to see later on if I like the more velvety water better.
Okay, we're heading up on the second trail. This is to the middle falls. We took a reconnaissance trip up already, and there's also an upper falls trail, but that has been washed out, so we won't be taking you up there today. So this is a nice paved path, lots of little pull-offs here where there's picnic tables if you want to come with the family and have a nice picnic in the forest.
But bring your mosquito repellent.
Shawn's found a little ledge up here by the observation area, and he's going to use that to get some elevation so that he can shoot over the other rock wall toward the falls. It's going to get tricky now because there's a lot of sunlight falling on the trees on the right hand side of the waterfalls. And this is the view that Shawn will be working from up here. You can get a couple different tiers of the waterfall on this angle.
So Corinne and I have walked up into the middle set of the falls, and actually what I'm doing is standing on the wall behind the observation area for the falls in order to get a little higher up. Unfortunately, it's gotten a little too bright, and this picture may not work at this time because the trees on the right side of the falls are now fully lit and are a little too bright. So we're going to try the photograph. I've definitely increased the amount of polarizer I'm using. I may even have to slip in a neutral density filter in order to slow things down a little bit. But we're going to give it a try and see how it comes out. So I'm trying to compose this with as little of the bright tree up on the right hand side as I can, but still leave the waterfall in the photograph. What I'll probably do is move to the upper part of the waterfall next in order to try to recompose and just take the top of the waterfall, which is still in the shade. Might try one other photograph from just down in front of me here and see if I can shoot underneath the tree. But right now I've got a portrait style photograph. I've got the long falls in the photograph. And as I said, the tree on the right hand side is just very, very bright.
walking a little further along the Middle Falls Trail, and there's a nice bridge here. It's easy to cross this section, but it gets a little sketchy on the other side. There's a tree that's fallen down and crossed over the handrail, and some of the dirt of the path is sliding down the hill. So it's not as good once you get past this bridge. We'll see if we can get up here and Shawn can find a good composition without as much sunlight. This seems to be a little more shady down here, although it's pretty noisy.
Hi again. So we've moved to the top level of the falls, or at least the middle level, and now I'm shooting the top level of the falls. This place, the water is a little shallower, so it's a little easier to move out into the middle of the stream. I'm a little off-center for the waterfall. I kind of like that. It's coming in from the top right and moving down into the bottom left. Again, I'm using these beautiful rocks going up into the falls as kind of a leading line. And I also have a series of logs that go right across the falls at the top, and I'm including them in the photograph, but I'll have to make a decision later as to whether or not I want to keep them because it's quite bright behind them.
Well, we've wrapped up our visit to Sweet Creek Falls. We hope you've enjoyed this little video.
We had a lovely time taking some photographs. We were here maybe just a touch too late. Would have been better if we'd have been here about a half an hour earlier. So other than that, it was a great spot to do some photography.
Yes, so you could do this in the early morning or late afternoon, maybe almost at sunset, or it would be really good on a cloudy day.
Yes, a cloudy day would be great. If you have a terrible cloudy day and you're this part of Washington, this is the place to come to do some photography. So we really hope you enjoyed this video.
If you did, give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to know when we put up more videos, hit the notification bell.
And please, as always, subscribe if you'd like to keep track of us. That does really help us out. And finally, if you have any thoughts, ideas, or comments, or questions, please don't hesitate to put them on the area below.
Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.